Thursday Night Football, Bills and Jets from MetLife Stadium. Two very physical teams who take a very physical approach to the game. Both teams pound the rock with their running backs and have pretty good front lines. But both teams play pretty good defense and stop the run as well. So this could be a low-scoring affair between two very physical teams.
I think it definitely will be a low-scoring game. And also, both of these teams, there could be some playoff implications down the road here. I think that one of these teams will be making it to the wild card. So it should be a good game. As you said, both teams like to run the football, but both of these teams like to stop the run. So, as you said, it will be very physical.
The last two games, the Jets have only run for just 51.5 yards. That is, they've struggled because a big part of that, though, is because of center Nick Mangold not being healthy. Against the Raiders, he did not play. Against the Jaguars, he played, but then left the game with an injury. He will be back this week. He's probable to play tonight, but you wonder how healthy he is.
Yeah, in order for them to run the football effectively with Chris Ivory, he definitely needs to get healthy. He's probably arguably the best center in the game. And then it'll be fairly interesting tonight to see if the Jets can beat the Bills front seven.
Yeah, the Bills are offensively ranked 20th in the league, the Jets 11th. So a lot of that has come from running the football with Ivory. He had such success early on. But really, the last few weeks, he got injured against New England and then kind of banged up. Really didn't look good at all against Oakland, who has a good front seven, who stopped the run, and then Jacksonville, who has a good front four as well, with Chris Clemens, and then you got some other guys up there. But really, it's going to be super important for both teams to get the ground game going. Ultimately, whoever probably runs for more yards will win this game, but it'll be a chippy game nonetheless. It'll probably be low scoring, 17-14, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 20-13 Jets in this one.
Interesting stat. Both teams have pretty good stuff percentages. The Bills 13.1, the Jets 11.6. So back to the trenches. It'll be a trenches type game. Really, it's not a battle of two elite quarterbacks. You have Tyrod Taylor for the Bills, who's played good football, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Jets. Really, none of these guys are going to take the top off of a defense, but there's certainly aspects to their game where they can throw the ball over the middle or, in the flats. They're pretty accurate passers, and they don't throw a whole lot of interceptions. Tyrod Taylor banged up early on. Ryan Fitzpatrick, too, he got hurt against the Raiders in that game where he left and then Geno Smith took over. You said you like the Jets in this game. Why?
I think they'll just have better success. I think they have the better receiving core, even though I don't think there's going to be a lot of receptions. I think they have the better defense. So, I have to say with the Jets in this one.
The Jets are averaging 1.9 passing touchdowns. The Bills, 1.6. You look down the numbers, line for line, these teams are really neck and neck. It doesn't look like either one of them is going to win the division. It looks like New England's going to run away with that, but certainly wild card implications this game could have an effect on.
Yeah, definitely. One of these teams, I think, will make it to the wild card, as I said earlier.
Who's your key player for tonight's game on both sides of the ball?
Well, for the Bills, I'm going to say Sammy Watkins. I think he's going to need to get going in this one. I think Tyrod Taylor's going to need to pass the ball to him. I think he's going to get a lot of targets, and then as for the Jets, I'm going to say the man who's guarding him. I'm going to say Darrelle Revis. He's going to need to shut down Sammy Watkins because Sammy Watkins likes to go deep, and Darrelle Revis needs to be able to cover the deep ball.
Watkins has been banged up this year. He's only played in 5 games. He has 19 receptions, 315 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Last year he came onto the scene and exploded, but this year he hasn't been healthy. For me, on the Bills, I'm going to go LeSean McCoy. And runs up the middle this season. He's been shaky. He's not a type of downhill back. He's more left to right jump cut type of guy. But in Rex Ryan's system, that's kind of the guy that they need as a downhill back. But I think they have Carlos Williams who fits that role better. But if they can get LeSean McCoy involved, as they did against Miami last week, it's going to be big for the Bills. And the Jets' number one rush defense, they only allow somewhere in the neighborhood of, I believe, 80 yards per game. That's number 1 in the NFL. They do a good job stopping the run, but the Bills will try their best to get the ground game going. And for the Jets, I have Ryan Fitzpatrick. When he plays well, the Jets succeed. So he's having a pretty good year. He's making good choices. for the most part, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes down tonight. What are your key matchups for tonight's game?
Well, I mean, one of them, as I just mentioned, I'm going to say Sammy Watkins versus Darrelle Revis. And then my other one, I'm going to say LaShawn McCoy versus that front seven.
Yeah, you have a really good front seven for the Jets. I mean, Quentin Coples, Demario Davis, Thomas Davis, and then up front, Sheldon Richardson, Damon Harrison, and then Leonard Williams, of course. And then, really, Richie Incognito, the left guard for the Bills, has been solid all year. He's been a good acquisition. I thought the line would actually be better than it is playing currently, but if they can get McCoy involved, that'll be a key for tonight's game. And even out of the backfield, screen plays, quick little passes out of the backfield to try to just disrupt the pass rush of the Jets.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, I mean, this will definitely be a grit and grind game and should be a fun one to watch.
When running up the middle the last two games, the Jets have just had 17 rushes for 7 yards. That's 1.83 yards per carry. They do have a lone touchdown. Really, a big part of that, though, is because of Nick Mangold hasn't been healthy. For the Bills defensively this season, on runs up the middle, they've allowed just 127 yards on 35 carries. That's just 3.6 yards per carry. They've allowed a lone touchdown. This game will be won in the trenches. Whoever wins that battle in the trenches will win your game. What's your ultimate prediction for tonight?
As I said, I'm going to say the Jets 20-13.
I'm going to go Jets 17-14. It should be a good one from MetLife. Logan, thanks for coming in on the show with me. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in.